we're gonna start our class according to the Whois top 10. And basically, before we talking about the Whois top 10, let's talk about the topic called information gathering. सबसे पहला टॉपिक है आपका इंफॉर्मेशन गैदरिंग पार्ट. So I think मैंने आप लोगों को कल एक बुक बताई थी पढ़ने के लिए. So I guess this is a book, the Web Application Hacker Handbook 2, the second edition. You can read the first one or you can read the second one. It's not necessary कि first read करना आना चाहिए. तो आप लोग कोई भी बुक्स रीड कर सकते हो फर्स्ट या सेकंड, बट इसमें से आपको सिंपली Whois टॉप 10 या सेंस 25 अटैक डिफेंस बता रखा है पूरा. अगर आप फर्स्ट 4 चैप्टर्स अगर आप पढ़ते हैं तो आप लोगों को पता चलता कि इंफॉर्मेशन गैदरिंग में या द एवोल्यूशन ऑफ वेब एप्लीकेशन, कॉमन एप्लीकेशन फंक्शंस, यू विल सी लॉट्स ऑफ थिंग्स ओवर देयर. Is the site is secure? The core security problems. User can submit arbitrary input. Key problems factor. The new security parameter. The future of the web application security. So ये सारी की सारी चीजें उसमें एक एक करके दे रखी है आपको. But the most important part over here, if you are simply step up to the web application part, तो आप लोगों को ये पढ़ना पड़ेगा. I can show you the way only. So the very first 4 chapters are basically a basic concept of web applications, which is not your part of your course, but all you have to do is to read those things. So the very first thing, the first topic of your web application testing part is your information gathering about your target, which is the first phase of your hacking concepts, you can say easily in layman language. So the very first topic is your information gathering part. So in this scenario, the main objective, or you can say the main concept of your information gathering, is the part of where you can simply learn or enumerate find the potential data of your target victim server. And which kind of information we are looking for? The information which can be related to anything. For example, this is a WebPT class. So we're going to talk the most of the topics of web application part. So in this scenario, let's take a website. If I talk about the information gathering part, information gathering is the first phase of your cybersecurity firm or as a security analyst or a pen tester. So in this thing, you will find a lot of information which is related to a domain. So a domain could be anything. It could be a banking site, it could be an institute site, it could be a corporate limited or a private limited, it could be any of the website, because we have many things surround us. So what information are we going to look for? If we talk about the infrastructure means inside of an organization, and let's talk about the infrastructure of the web application. For example, I'm going to take a website called, let's take test PHP, a testing website. I'm going to take the first website, which is your testing website. So the major first thing which I have to gather the information about the target is to check entire website to figure out what are the applications running in the back end and what are the services. जैसे कि अगर मैं बात करूँ ये एक वेबसाइट है, तो वेबसाइट में एक वेब सर्वर होगा जो इसको होस्ट कर रहा है. सिंपली CMS होगा, CMS कंटेंट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, और कंटेंट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम का जो मेजर रोल होता है वो आपके एप्लीकेशन यानी कि आपके वेबसाइट को मैनेजमेंट करने के लिए यूज होता है. कंटेंट मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम अगर आप यहाँ पे देखो, व्हाट इज अ CMS वेबसाइट. सबसे ज्यादा अगर आपने वर्ड सुना होगा Drupal या WordPress or any of the application they are using for managing their website, it's known as CMS, which stands for Content Management System. And this way is basically Content management system literally allows you to control and manage the content in the website yourself without any HTML knowledge. Using this uncomplicated system, you can very easily add or delete images and edit text in your website to fly. So, as a security analyst, as a pen tester, what I have to think, I have to gather the information about my website, the target website. You can say the testing website. And the most important thing, the data type, which data type they're using. For example, and if you see over here, what are the things you're going to look for? If we talk about infra, you need data like which web server they are using, which CMS they are using, and what is the database type. For example, application logic, you have to use the application logics also. The IP address, domains, and subdomains, and their virtual hosts. These are the 4 important things you have to look for your target website. And the most important thing of information gathering part is to enumerate all the information which is related to your target. It could be anything that you are looking for. For example, why a website is vulnerable? Because some poor code, the poor code which is written over there. So as a security analyst, you have to gather the information about the target before each and everything can be done. For example, we have done Whois.com. I guess we have used the Whois.com website in our cybersecurity field. Can anyone describe me what is Whois.com? Anyone?
सर डोमेन से रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन देती है कि डोमेन कब लिया हुआ, कब अपडेट हुआ, कब एक्सपायर होगा.
Exactly. So if I simply write the domain name over here, so I can see this testing website, which is vulnerweb.com, is basically a registered Euro DNS registered on 2010 and expire will be on 2021. And we can see the status, we can see the name servers. In the name server, we can see there are 4 name servers. Can anyone describe me what is name servers, guys? Anyone?
Their subdomain.
Sorry?
Their subdomain.
कौन बोल रही है?
So Krishna.
Krishna, subdomains, name servers are not subdomains. Name servers are your hosting applications, your hosting servers. Name server is a part of a large database called the domain name system DNS, which act like a directory or a device or an IP address attached to them. A name server is not a subdomain. A name server is an application that is basically used to host your website. You can see over here, a name server is a computer application that implement a network service providing response to queries against the directory services, and that directory request was created by the client side. Subdomains are different thing. Subdomains are their part. If the data is not over there in the actual server, they will redirect the client request to somewhere else there where the data is posted over there. Name servers are basically used to give you response back from the server side, and these are the applications you can see. Registration contact, you can see the Acunetics over there, the organization, the street, they have given all the details over here. Administrator, technical contact, the raw data you can see, you can see the registration domain ID number, and the registration Whois server from Whois euro.dns.com. Either you can visit the website or either you can simply check this one with the help of your terminal over here. So if you do Whois.com over here, if you write Whois and the DNS the domain name, you will see the output just like the same over here. No match for test.php.welcome. Okay, so I guess it was like wellhub.com. Yes, see, you will get the same database as just as over here with your DNS, because the very first part is to gather the information about your target. So it could be anything on the server side. There are many ways you can do simple things over here, and Whois is also a part where you can use it for information gathering about your target. There are many websites which is regarding to Whois, but they will show you different kinds of output over there. Some will show you the administrator context, some will show you the technical context, but are they correct one or not? That depends. And simply the most important part you can see over here, that was a name servers that they are using. So that's why the domain name system is basically based host on the IP address of your Whois database. Whatever the data we are fetching from the Whois.com, it's basically fetching from the domain name system of your Whois database of any of the websites. So there are lots of websites we can use it for information gathering part. And most of the companies, they simply follow the structure of information gathering that you have learned in the CH part, that was footprinting part. And in the addition, if I talk about the DNS triangle, the DNS triangle are the important part. For example, if you see over here that I'm going to show you a website. So this was a checklist of your GB hackers. So let's see over here. So this was an old website. So still now it works because they have some network checklist. But over here we're gonna look for only these things. And why these are important? You can see over here, host discovery. The footprinting is the first and the important phase where one gather information about their target system. Which kind of information that we look for? For example, DNS footprinting, which we are doing right now, helps to enumerate DNS records. And each and every records like A, MX, NS, SRV, PTR, SO, CNA, resolving to the target domain. If you see over here, the very first one is showing you capital A. And capital A is basically an address over here. And capital A stores a record of your map of host names to an IP address. A host name which you are using for gbhackers.com and they provide to the IP address belongs to them. Zones with A record are called forward zones, which you can see in the very first thing. For example, testphp.wellhub is a website. So if I'm use any of the enumeration techniques, so I'm going to use a host utility over here. So through the capital A, through the capital A, what I'm going to look for, I'm going to check the host name is related to IP address or not. You can see over here, a record is used to point the domain name such as gbhackers.com to an IP address of its hosting server. A hosting server where the application is hosted. For example, we're gonna use a utility called host in the driver. So if I do man before that, man means manual. So when I put the manual before the host, I can see the description given here. So host is a simply utility for performing DNS lookup. A DNS lookup means a DNS enumeration part. So it's normally used to convert the names to IP address and vice versa. So as we can see over here that we already read about the capital A. So I'm gonna use host -help. So over here, if I look over here, the very first point, I can see the -a is equivalent to -c specified query class for -c compares COA, which is your SOA. SOA stands for your state of authority, start of authority. And basically this indicates the zone of it should be occur first in zone files. जो फाइल उस सर्वर में है वो वहाँ से स्टार्ट होनी चाहिए. And they basically SOA जो आपका बेसिकली यूज होता है वो आपके हर एक एप्लीकेशन की एक रिकॉर्ड रखता है अपने सर्वर में सीरियल वाइज की तरह. But over here we're gonna use the -t over here, which means type, specify the query type. For example, let's clear this one, and I'm gonna use host -t, the type, and we're gonna use the capital A over here, which is a record of the DNS. So I'm gonna use this website and paste it over here. Only the DNS, not the URL. We have to put the DNS over there. Okay, so it was small, only A. So as you can see over here that we have test.wellnow.com as an IP address, which is 176.28.50.165, which is a hosting server from the server side. And if we do a ping command over there, if you simply do a ping command, we can also check the IP address of that specific domain. Just like this one. As per the record which is given over here, we can see MX. MX is basically stands for mail exchange. For example, many of the domains, many of the other websites, they use different mail servers for sending to communicate with their any of the clients. For example, if you use MX over here, you will see test PHP has no MX record. But if you try the different website, for example, let's try our company name Craw.in, you will see that our Craw.in is basically using a mail server, which is your Google. You can see alt aapx google.com. As per, if you try MX through a Microsoft company, you will see that Microsoft company is basically using Outlook for their mail servers. That's why each and every server, each and every domain has a specific different mail servers. This is a part of your DNS automation when you're simply doing a proper path. For example, NS. NS stands for name servers record to identify. And name servers are basically your zones, one zone to a different zone. It defines an authority and name servers for a zone and delegates authority to a name server to a child zone. There could be a parent zone and a child zone in the records of their name servers. And the NS records are basically glue. A glue means that binds the distribution database together with the parent to the child. So over here, if I simply do NS over there, I can see the name servers of that specific server. But we are over here, we use this one for our Microsoft, and we can see Azure DNS. So we already know Azure, Microsoft Azure is a cloud computing part. So if you try on test PHP, the name server, you will see some over there. Okay. Let's remove the test PHP and write wellnow.com so we can see the name servers. Through the name servers, there are different lots of types of attacks if you try to see on the HackerOne report. For example, you can see SRV. SRV are basically used to record or distinguish between a host service and a host specific server. So it will be simply tell us about the records of the hosting services with a specific server. So I guess we don't use SRV most of the time, but if we use SRV over here, there's no SRV record. So if I use the SRV in the cloud, no record of the SRV for the hosted server IP address. So most of the cases, what will happen? You have to use the enumeration part in manual way. For example, PTR, which is a pointer in your DNS server. The PTR maps the IP address to a host names. This is also, you can say, make a record of an IP address to the host name of the domain name. And PTR records are also called as reverse zone. Reverse DNS lookup, with the help of the IP, you can get the domain name associated with it. So over here, with the help of IP address, you can get the domain associated with it. If you know the IP address. So
हेलो
over here,
हेलो
Anji,
पार्थ सर रिवर्स डीएनएस किसको बोलते हैं?
रिवर्स डीएनएस में बेसिकली हम क्या करते हैं कि हम लोग जो आईपी हमें एड्रेस मिली है उस आईपी एड्रेस किसको कौन से डीएनएस सर्वर से बिलोंग करती है।
ओके
जैसे कि मैं यहाँ पे पिंग करूंगा craw.in को। Let's copy this one and let's see over here. The host IP address is not found over there. Okay, if I do craw.in, then there's no PTR record over there. So if you look over here, the reverse DNS lookup, with the help of the IP, you can get the domain associated with it. The domain, which is your craw.in domain we are talking about. For example, there are some website called YouGetSignal also. YouGetSignal is also a website where we can use it for information gathering part. Okay, so let's do google.com. YouGetSignal. In the very first one. Okay, we have in the YouGetSignal. This is a website which is mostly used for information gathering. Port forwarding tester. What is my IP address? You can see your IP address, which is your assigned by the IPS. Network location tools, visual choice route tools, phone number geolocator, email address lookup tools, reverse IP domain check. You can see over here in the reverse IP domain check, find other sites on a web server. So this is the most important part nowadays. Find the other sites on a web server. Means nowadays, if I'm startup company, most of the startup company, they use public domain to host their web application. And through this reverse domain IP check, we can simply gather the information about the DNS servers, the target website, which are hosting other website hosting on the same server. For example, let's take this website. On the oneweb.com, there are other websites which is hosting on the same server. Found 20 domains hosted on the same web server as onehub.com, and you can see the IP address. These are the websites. And you can see most of the websites are related to onehub.com, and you can say these are the subdomains. Either you can use YouGetSignal to identify the subdomains of your target website, or you can simply use other details. But over here, as per the data, PTR was just a record of your IP address to a domain name server. Just like SAW, which I told you before that, starting of authority. Starting of authority will tell you about the data of your current zone. Start of a record, it's nothing but information of the DNS system about DNS zones and other DNS records. So for example, if I use SOA, you will see that The DNS server which showed us as SO record of Gerald, which is a Cloudflare, which is your DNS record, and a DNS Cloudflare. See. Through SO, we can see the name servers of that target. But over here, I took the craw.in. So you can try other website also. Let's try with the Microsoft. And if I do SOA, I can see that Microsoft is basically using Azure DNS server. And the last and the least, which I always used for bug bounty, CNAME. Anyone would like me to tell me about the CNAME over here, guys? What is the main use of CNAME? And there is a big vulnerability of CNAME. Let's see a hacker CNAME HackerOne report. See. A guide to Okay, Dhruv, how do you left over here? Hello, Dhruv. Is it okay now? Yes, I guess it's okay now. Okay. So we can see subdomain takeover some HackerOne reports over here. So it was on the year 2019, 25th of March, and this is Michael Guestjet, and we can see the severity, which is your your vulnerability rating. Yes. Yes, बोलिए. मैम को ज्वाइन कर चुका हूँ. हाँ जी. Thank you, ma'am. So the CNAME vulnerability you can see. I guess now you are okay, Dhruv. Are you okay? You can write it in chat if you are hearing my voice properly. Say hello.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
हाँ सर, एक्चुअली वो नेटवर्क इशू था, उस कारण वो कनेक्शन लॉस हो गया था.
कोई बात नहीं. आप कोई इशू नहीं है. आप बात कर सकते हैं.
ठीक है.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, everyone is okay with my teaching sense. मतलब कोई इशू तो नहीं है, कोई प्रॉब्लम समझने में?
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है सर.
Okay. Virender sir?
No sir, nothing.
Okay, Sam, do you any facing some problem with me?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Okay. Krishna?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys. So as you can see here, this website is taking subdomain takeover, and you can see these are two reports. Oh, okay, we have 2019 one, and it's a 2000 bounty over there. Subdomain takeover, Starbucks, you can see. See over here, they have given all the things one by one. So I would like to claim a subdomain, which is this one, using Azure Cloudflare services, which is a Microsoft vulnerability, Microsoft Cloudflare. But over here, what does the CNAME means over there? The main important part. CNAME record maps a domain name to another domain name. For example, see over here that if a Craw Security is a domain name, this is a domain name. So if I want to talk about the subdomains, most of the hackers, they don't actually attack the domain name because they're fully patched and there might be no vulnerabilities over there. So most of the hackers, they attack on the subdomains. For example, the beta version of the website. the beta version of craw.in, which is one work in progress, you can say. And there could be some other websites like 0.1, which is your craw.in. There also belongs to the data. But over here, the CNAME over here will have a record of the domain name with another domain name, which is called your subdomain aapka. Yes, anyone who was asking a question? No, I guess. Yes. So over here, I can see they have given all the things one by one. Using the dig command, okay, they're using the dig command, I was able to determine that the subdomain 102.1 Starbucks was vulnerable to an account takeover. The record showed us annex. Annex domain was pointing to a CNAME, the cloud.net. What is annex domain over here? Let's do the google.com. Let's see annex domain. The annex domain is a DNS message type received by the DNS server, example the client. When a request is resolved, a domain name is sent to a DNS and cannot be resolved to an IP address. An annex domain error message means that the domain does not exist. At that time, in this one, we can see that this DNS annex, there was a domain name which belongs to them. Using this information, I was able to create a new Azure account with the name this one. But this was pointed by the server side. This would resolve the CNAME record mentioned above. CNAME. They doesn't know, उनको पता ही नहीं था कि ये वेबसाइट उनको बिलोंग करती है. तो अटैकर ने क्या किया, सिंपली अजूरे से उसने उस वेबसाइट को हाईजैक कर लिया या रजिस्टर्ड कर दिया. This would resolve the name server record mentioned above. Then crafted a website and upload it to the cloud service using this guide. See, you can proceed with this one and you will see how to create and deploy a cloud services. They have given all the things that you want over here. और easy क्या है कि information getting सबसे ज़्यादा important है. And यहाँ पे देखो, I was able to view the upload site at this website because this website belongs to them. It will show you the testing site. So I guess this website will take some time because it's still loading. And ये आपको attack vector बताएगी.
सर हम ये कैसे पता कर सकते हैं कि ये कहाँ पे पॉइंट कर रहा है? ये हम कैसे पता कर सकते हैं कि ये सब डोमेन मेरे सर्वर पे पॉइंट नहीं कर रहा है, किसी और पे कर रहा है?
तो इसने यहाँ पे क्या बोला था कि वहाँ पे उसने एक dig कमांड यूज किया था. सिंपली उसने आइडेंटिफाई किया कि वहाँ पे एक और सब डोमेन है, बट वो क्या बोली कि वो उनको पता ही नहीं था कि ये उनका डोमेन है. तो उसने उस डोमेन आईडी के हिसाब से अपनी एक और उसने अजूर में सर्विस में उसके अकॉर्डिंग एक सब डोमेन क्रिएट कर लिया था, जो कि स्टारबक्स का ही था. देखो, using dig I was able to determine the subdomain. That was this one, and it was vulnerable to account takeover. The record should state as this. उसने क्या देखा कि रिकॉर्ड में ये आ रहा था annex domain, जो कि उसमें पता ही नहीं था कि वो वेबसाइट उनकी बिलोंग्स करती है कि नहीं. मैंने आपको यहाँ पे दिखाया था ना annex domain.
Yes, sir.
ये देखिए. What is annex domain attack means over here? Annex domain is a situation where the DNS is unable to resolve a domain name due to non-existence. उनको पता ही नहीं है. An annex domain attack arises when the attacker is endeavored to flood the DNS server with the false queries to resolve a non-existing domain name. All you have to do is to check the server. For example, they were using host command -t, the CNAME. Let's try with the oneweb.com. There was no CNAME. Nowadays, there is no situation that you can identify the CNAME on the server side. Let's try Microsoft. No. Let's try with the Craw.in. Because there is no subdomain. See, this vulnerability could take any advantages. And the impact, see, the most important thing is to provide the security. And they have given the recommendation to fix that server. The impact is the important part. This is a vulnerability which can be affect your website, your institutions. And this was a bounty in 2019.
और पार्थ सर
हाँ जी
सर मैं कह रहा हूँ जैसे एक साइट है उसके सब डोमेन हमने फाइंड कर लिया, ठीक है सर। और सर फिर हमें कैसे ये कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे सर ये कि ये सब डोमेन वल्नरेबल है?
ये अभी तक हम उस टाइम में पहुंचे ही नहीं है। अभी मैं आपको सीनेम बता रहा था कि सीनेम क्या होता है।
ठीक है सर, कोई बात नहीं।
अभी उसने क्या करा था कि उसने एक डिक कमांड को यूज करके उसने एक सब डोमेन निकाला था।
ठीक है सर।
जो कि प्रॉपर से रजिस्टर्ड नहीं था, वो सब डोमेन रजिस्टर्ड नहीं था और स्टारबक्स को पता ही नहीं था। तो टेस्टर ने क्या किया कि उस सब डोमेन को उसने परचेज कर लिया था, बट वो बिलोंग्स करता था किसको? स्टारबक्स को। सी नेम का मेजर इम्पैक्ट क्या था? सी नेम क्या करता है कि एक डोमेन नेम को दूसरे डोमेन नेम से चेक करता है कि हाँ वो है कि नहीं, है ना?
हाँ ठीक है सर।
That's why they were saying कि सब डोमेन्स के थ्रू हम कैसे इसे टेक ओवर कर सकते हैं। यहाँ पे देखो, यहाँ पे उसने एक और सब डोमेन टेक ओवर किया है और पूरा एक बता रखा है कि उसको कैसे यूज करते हैं। It will show you annex domain response the CNAME entry for 4 subdomain using a dig command. We're going to use this command right now. So there are lots of other things you can use it for information getting part. A DNS, a domain name register is just a database to arrange. But the major part है कि एक वेब सर्वर जो उसका मेजर जो पर्पस है, अगर मैं बात करूँ, वो आपके वेब और मेल की इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें होती हैं और आपके आईपी एड्रेस और जिस सर्वर में वो होस्ट हो रही है वो सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है आपका। और सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है आपका, अगर आप नेम सर्वर को एनुमरेट करते हो, if you're using name server to enumerate, you can use NS Lookup. NS Lookup for enumerating the name servers. Let's do man before that one, and we can see NS Lookup is a program to query internet domain name server. So you can use it for extract the name servers on the server side. For example, let me show you how does it work. हाँ जी बोलिए
सर। ये कमांड कैसे पता चलेगी कौन सी कमांड यूज करनी है?
ये कमांड आपको यूज करनी है ns lookup -help से। ठीक है, तो आई गेस यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं ns lookup और बिफोर दैट लेट्स पुट man बिफोर दैट व्हिच इज योर मैनुअल। सो जब आप मैन करोगे तो आप यहाँ पे कमांड देख सकते हो नीचे क्या क्या लिख रखी है। रूट, फिगर, ये देखो आपको सारी कमांड दे रखी होगी।
ओके सर।
बस सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि डीएनएस नेम सर्वर में रिकॉर्ड कैसे होता है। ए कैपिटल ए क्या होता है, एमएक्स क्या होता है, एनएस क्या होता है, एसआरबी क्या होता है, ईटीआर क्या होता है, एसओ क्या होता है। दिस इज द इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट। फॉर एग्जांपल, लेट्स यूज द नेम सर्वर ओवर हियर। So I'm going to use name server NS Lookup, and I'm going to use the Google domain name. And over here, I can see the DNS name servers, which is your non-authority answers like names, google.com with the IP address, which is over here.
सर ये 103 वाली आईपी किसकी है?
Which one? This one.
यस सर.
ये NS Lookup यूज करता है इसको. ये आपने देखा होगा जब भी आप NS Lookup यूज करोगे ये आईपी दिखती है आपको. ये आईपी आपको इंटरेक्ट करने के लिए यूज होती है. और जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया था कि आप होस्ट कमांड यूज कर रहे थे, ऐसे करके आप यहाँ पे नेम सर्वर की कमांड भी यूज कर सकते हो. जैसे कि यहाँ पे मैं लिखूंगा -type कमांड, कैपिटल ए. You can see the records over there. You can see the address. Yeah, we can see the address over there. Let's try the PTR again. The pointer which I was talking about. The origin, the first name server, google.com. The mail address was this. The serial number, which was we talking about, is this. And the expiry date and the minimum date and the expiry date. PTR, which is your pointer, I guess. And this was a reverse lookup. A reverse lookup where you simply look for the IP address to check the domain name. And let's try the IP address over here, which was from Google. For example, let's try this one. I was using DNS. Let's try IP address. Oh, I can see another different things when I simply put the IP address. I can see the name servers, and I can see the mail servers, and there are some different name servers also. So the most important part, this was a part of your reverse lookup query to simply check which IP address belongs to which category over there. I can use capital A over here if I want to check the IP assigned. I can see the same thing. Yes. Either you can type, if you want to see the whole record of your DNS server, if you want to check the whole record of your DNS server, you can type -query type. You can do any. It will show you anything which is related to your any of the DNS. For example, I'm going to show you the google.com. I'm going to use the DNS over there. And when I use the any type query, I can only see the data, which is like your IP address, which is a record, and the names. I guess. Oh, sorry, I was using double quote. We have to use a single one, and I can see the same record over there. The name server which belongs to google.com, and the origin, which name server they're using the most. They are using this one, NS1. And they have some records with them. So the most important part, when you simply use name server for CNAMEs or records of MX, this is a part of your DNS animation part. And there are lots of things you can simply do. You can simply use Whois.com, you can try NS Lookup, or you can try host command to identify the same things, but it will give you other different types. So name servers, just to look up the server side DNS servers, and you can process with and something else also. For example, if I use simply DNS Lookup, and let's try with the www.craw.in. See, I can see the name with the IP address. And these are the IP address which is belongs to the IP address and the name servers. These are the name servers IP address you can see. And the most important part is when you simply check the IP address of your Whois.com, you will see lots of other things. You can use various tools. You can use online website, for example, American Registration for Internet. Search for the site for Whois. I can write craw.in. Write aliens Whois instead. So there was no record of alienswhois.com adapt. So you can try different websites over here, just like which I'm gonna use, which is your Whois domain tools.com. There are lots of other websites you can use it for information gathering part. See, different websites will give you different outputs. You can write the domain name, or you can simply write something else. There are lots of other websites, and if you use any of the other things, you will see the lots of other programs.
We can also use Netcraft, right?
You can use Netcraft if you want, and you can use any of the websites. For example, if you want to use the Netcraft, you can write over here.
Okay.
This was a part of your information gathering part. For example, I'm not going to take my own company. You can simply take in the bottom side what is the site is running. You can get the information over here. For example, I'm just gonna copy this one and I can paste over here. To simply check the animation part. You can see over here in the title, the Netcraft is also one of the tools which is used for animation part. And this tool is basically used to check the server side data. और ये आपका यूज होता है पूरे एंटायर वेबसाइट को चेक करने के लिए कि उनमें कौन कौन से एप्लीकेशन चल रही है. फॉर एग्जांपल बैकग्राउंड, site title, you can see the home academics, the site rank is also given there. Each and every website has a rankings. Right? Description is not given there. Just networking side, you can see the test.php.com, the IP address over here, you can see. And then here using the name server, the first name server. हाँ जी.
सर इन साइट को रन कौन करता है सर?
कौन साइट को रन करता है मतलब?
सर जैसे यहाँ पे ये साइट की रैंकिंग दे रखी है ना?
हाँ जी.
ये 9397.
हाँ.
तो इसको ये रैंक कौन देता है सर, ये पूछ रहा हूँ.
ये आपकी रेटिंग्स देती हैं हर की वेबसाइट की, रिव्यूज की बात करें तो. गूगल को करना तो गूगल आपको टॉप 1 में दिखाएगा.
अच्छा, तो सर ये गूगल को रेटिंग किसने दी सर टॉप 1 की?
गूगल आपका सर्च इंजन है, वो कुछ ज्यादा बड़ा नहीं है. आपके सर्च इंजन बिंग भी है, याहू भी है, और भी बहुत सारे सर्च इंजन जिनको पता ही नहीं है.
अच्छा.
सबसे ज्यादा वर्ल्ड में गूगल यूज होता है. बट अगर आप ब्राउजर ओपन करते हो तो सबसे पहले क्या करते हो? google.com करते हो या yahoo.com करते हो? गूगल करते हो ना.
यस सर.
सबसे ज्यादा आउटपुट आपको गूगल से मिलती है.
यस सर.
और इसलिए अगर आप यहाँ पे देखेंगे सेम चीज दे रखी है, डोमेन नेम, नेम सर्वर, आईपी एड्रेस, डीएनएस एडमिन, जहाँ से उन्होंने वो करा है, IPv6 Reverse DNS. See, domain registered, council registered key and name server organization, hosting company is GoDaddy, unknown hosting company, country, they can see Denmark, I guess. This is Europe, Germany. So if you go to अगर आप थोड़ा सा और नीचे आएंगे आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे आपकी IPv4 जहाँ पे कंट्री होस्ट हो रही है नेदरलैंड जर्मनी और आपका नेम और प्लस आपकी डिस्क्रिप्शन SSL or TLS. This is not an HTTPS site. Yes, this is not an HTTPS site because this is not secure. Hosting history. See this one. The hosting history of that specific domain, and they are using Linux operating system. This is a part of your banner grabbing part. A banner grabbing part is a part where you simply have to look for the applications or the services running in the background. OS is Linux, web server is Ignice, which is your HTTP server. And I guess this is July 15th, or I guess this is 17, I guess. So और भी बहुत सारे तरीके हैं जो हम इंफॉर्मेशन गैदरिंग कर सकते हैं. स्टैंडर्ड पॉलिसी फ्रेमवर्क जिसे हम SPF बोलते हैं, और SPF बेसिकली आपके यूज होता है मेल सर्वर को सेंड करने के लिए ऑन इट्स बिहाफ. A hosting standard policy framework describes who can send mails on itself. This is done by the publishing of SPF records or a series of roles. Each role consists of qualified programs. और SPF के थ्रू बहुत सारी vulnerabilities होती हैं आपके डोमेन नेम से. ये हम पढ़ेंगे SPF की vulnerability. And there are lots of other websites that you can use. For example, if you want to enumerate the DNS servers, you can use the website called DNS Netcraft to enumerate the subdomains. Okay, sorry. HTTPS search dnsnetcraft.com. This was the website. So you can see they are using some string operators. Site contains, site starts with, sites end with, site subdomain matches. So if I use subdomain matches, so मैं use करूँगा craw.in को पहले कि उनमें कोई subdomains हैं craw.in के. Sorry, no result was found. Okay, let's try with the Instagram, I guess. See, there are subdomains of Instagram.com. And we can see these are Linux operating systems. And these websites are like www.insta.com, protect security, reset account password. Okay, this is a different thing. Let's try with this DNS. To enumerate the DNS servers, you can see lots of other things. Let's start with site contents. You can see lots of DNS according to the server. You can see test asp.vulhub.com, test vulhub.com, test asp.net vulhub.com. You can see other DNS servers. See. And same thing which I can use it over here. The site contains. Let's try with the kind of craw.in also. We have only two DNS, www.craw.in and craw.in, and we can see this is the Cloudflare and this is the Linux operating system. If we click over here on the Cloudflare.in, it will rewrite the client request with some of other cloud systems, which belongs to that specific one. And Cloudflare is from America, USA on the IP address they have assigned from the range. Is it clear to all, guys?
Yes, sir.
बहुत सारे अलग अलग तरीके भी होते हैं, आप इससे इंफॉर्मेशन गैदरिंग कर सकते हो, बट सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है कि आप उसके क्या क्या इंफॉर्मेशन निकालते हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यू हैव टू सिंपली चेक each and everything of the target website. You have to make a proper map of the target website. We talk about each and everything. It's all about starting point right now. If we talk about the infrastructure, the infra is a totally different thing. In infra, I was talking about which application this website is using and which things services are on the server side. For example, the infrastructure is a behind our web application. In infrastructure is the content of your design, which allow you to function or to call. So if I ask you about the web server is just a server which is hosting your web application. Only over here you can see the front end of the website, but in the back end there could be lots of other applications running in the back end side. So I guess this was all for right now.